Hello, and welcome to the Soulful Self-Development Podcast. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Hannah Sutherland. I'm a lover of all things self-care, personal development, and spirituality. I have created this podcast to help you grow into the most soulful version of yourself while creating more joy, magic, and purpose in your everyday life. If you're ready to live a life so full, then you, my friend, have come to the right place. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and now let's dive deep. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Soulful Self-Development Podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Sutherland, and I am super excited for today's episode because this is something that I'm really passionate about. It has been something I have had many thoughts about that I believe very, very strongly in my soul, and it's now becoming more and more of a common topic that is talked about. So it makes me very excited that people are waking up to this and being aware of this, because I have been trying to put all of this into words for years, honestly. And I think I kind of now did a pretty good job at explaining it. So today's topic is about energy and the fact that everything, and I mean everything, is energy. So let's dive in. So energy, what is it? Well, literally everything is made up of energy. I like to call it universal energy. And literally everything from the earth to the sun to our food to our emotions to music. Even you are made up of energy. Every literal thing you can think of is made up of energy. So when we talk about energy, it usually correlates to vibration and frequency. So vibration is the rate at which an energy vibrates or moves, because if you remember when you were kids back in school and we learned about solids, liquids, and gases, states of matter, that everything vibrates. Just things that are solid vibrate faster and closer together, whereas gases vibrate slower and farther apart, like the particles don't bump into each other as much. But it did teach us that everything vibrates. So everything that's made up of energy has its own unique vibration, and vibration is measured in frequencies. So each frequency is different and attracts whatever is also in that frequency. So we will get into that a little bit later, but just as a little general idea, because I will be using these words a lot, that is what I'm talking about. Oh, also frequency is measured in hertz. So there are certain hertz for certain frequencies. So for example, the frequency of love is about 500 hertz, whereas the frequency of fear is 100 hertz. The frequency of shame is the lowest at 20 hertz, and the frequency of enlightenment is the highest at over 700 hertz. So if you look on Google, you can just Google like an emotional vibration chart or frequency chart, and it'll show you all the different emotions and feelings and where they sit in the chart. I find it very fascinating, but there is actually evidence of these things causing different vibrations, and those are the frequencies. Yes, so they are measured in hertz. So if you hear me say energy, vibration, or frequency, which you will a lot in this episode, that is what I'm talking about. So one thing that we know about energy is that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred or transformed into a different form. So this also, to me, really reinstates my belief in reincarnation, and that like there's no way that after this life it's just nothing. It's not just blackness, it's not just over. We continue to live every life, because like there is always energy. Our energy is just right now our energy is in human form, And after this life, our energy will be in the form of something else. And we live in an infinite universe. So we can't just be becoming nothing. It just scientifically doesn't actually make any sense for that to happen. So, yes, it's very important to know that energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed, because it actually gives us the power to transform energy within our own lives. So, we all have our own energy, our own personal vibration. We have energy like within us, but also exists around us, also known as an aura or an energetic field. I like to think of this as like a big bubble around us. And it is very important that we are aware of this energy and how everything affects our energy. So here's an example of some things that affect our energy. The foods that we eat affect our energy, whereas whole nutritional foods give us a way more high vibrational energy than eating processed foods. The products that we use, there are a lot of products, from beauty products to bubble bath to shampoo and conditioner to perfumes to all these things, even like dish soaps and laundry soaps. All these things have a lot of chemicals in them, and the more shit that is in your products, the lower vibration that it has. And we want to try and use just clean products as much as we possibly can, especially when it is honestly better for us, especially like our skin. When it comes to skincare, like all I ever use is like a bar of soap to wash my face. And I use straight shea butter and some kind of vitamin E oil or castor oil, just to mix with that, because the consistency on its own is too thick, as moisturizer. And I have wonderful skin, and my skin loves it. Like I have sensitive skin, so using any kind of lotion that has any kind of scent in it just irritates my skin, and using any kind of lotion that has shit in it like literally makes my skin be on fire. So that is also important to keep in mind. It also affects our health, has a direct effect on our energy. If we are sick, our energy is low. Think about how you feel when you have the flu versus when you are absolutely healthy and running around. The people that we spend our time around, this is absolutely so crucial, because we have the power to choose who and where we want to spend our time with. And we need to notice people in our lives that are lowering our vibrations when we spend time around them, because anybody that has not natural, because our vibrations are always changing, but if you spend a lot of time with somebody who is constantly in a lower vibrational state than you, they can't come up to where you are. They pull you down to where they are. They're like sucking that energy from you, often referred to as energy vampires. And it affects your energy. So you have to be able to set boundaries for yourself, and or cut people out of your life that lower your vibration, because it has a direct effect on your personal vibration. Also, every interaction that you have affects your vibration and your energy. So even if you're not spending a lot of time around people, say you're going to the grocery store and you bump into somebody and they give you a dirty look, that is lowering your vibration. So not that you have as much control over that. That comes in with learning to clear and let go of energies in your energetic field, which we will get to a little bit later on. But just also keep in mind that every single interaction, which is why it's important to be kind and smile at strangers, and say thank you and please to all those, and be super nice to service workers, because You don't know what's going on in their life, and if you're pleasant to them, they're more likely to be pleasant back to you, and then you're just saving yourself that negative energy getting sent back your way from the people you're interacting with. Also, our state of mind is very important. If you are in a positive state of mind, you are going to be having a higher vibration. If you're constantly in a negative state of mind and think everything is wrong and you think the world is ending and blah, 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 then you're going to be just pulling yourself down, 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 down. Movement and moving our bodies is super, super important. Physical activity is absolutely detrimental to our energy. When we don't move our physical bodies, like, the energy becomes stagnant in our energetic field, but physical movement helps energy move and flow through our energetic field. So it is kind of the same. If you've listened to my episode on elements, I go on a bit about this to do with water, because water represents emotions. And when you think about water in nature, water is naturally supposed to be flowing in some way or have some kind of filtration system, because any water that doesn't flow becomes murky and muddy and stagnant and gross and heavy. And the same goes for our emotions and energy. When we're not moving, it becomes stuck and stagnant, and it just begins to weigh us down and gives us that gross, muddy, murky feeling. And let's be honest, we know that nobody enjoys that. Nobody wants that. So move your bodies. Also, the music that we listen to affects our energy and our vibration. If you think about it, think about music that you listen to. Upbeat, high vibrational music versus listening to slow, sad. I've actually heard that rock and roll is the worst type of music. Don't get me wrong, I love rock and roll music, and once in a while isn't going to kill you, but if you continuously listen to that, it's just not a very good vibration. If you play music around your plants, rock and roll music will kill your plants over time, but classical music is the best music for plants, which I find fascinating. Also, what we watch or consume has a very big effect on our energy. So this is from TV shows that we watch. Do not watch the news. The news is literally the worst thing for your brain ever. The news is trying to convince you that there is always something wrong. Yes, there's always going to be problems around the world. And what can we do about it? As of right now, not really anything. So when we're just sitting there and watching that and just sulking in that, like, oh no, instantly lowering our vibration. And the media is very, very, very controlled by the we like to call them the elite, and they try to control what we consume. And because our minds are so easily influenced by things, there is a lot out there that has a negative effect on our mind, but we get stuck in the trap of like needing to watch it. It's also really important about the like social media that you're consuming, not only how much time you spend on social media, but I highly recommend doing like social media detox, going through unfollowing, unfollow. If you don't need to follow them, don't follow them. And if you like having stuff pop up, go find some accounts that are positive and uplifting and give you good advice. Maybe some fitness people, maybe some spiritual people, maybe some, positive affirmations or whatever. But you don't need to follow the news. You don't need to follow this. Anything that, like, if you read a post, whether it be from a person you know or some sort of meme thing that you follow, and it gives you anxiety or it like makes you feel not good, unfollow them. It doesn't matter. There are 7 billion people in the world. You do not need to follow Sally because you went to the 7th grade with her. If she is ruining your vibe, don't follow Sally. Get rid of Sally. You don't need it. It's affecting your energy, and your energy is super, super, super important. So when it comes to energy and vibrations, we want to aim for good or high vibrational energy in our lives because of the law of attraction. If you don't know what the law of attraction is, the law of attraction states that whatever you put out, you get back. So if you are vibrating at a low frequency, only low frequency things, people, opportunities, whatever it is, will come back to you. So this is why it's our taking care of our energy is important, because the higher we can raise that vibration, the better people that come to us, the better opportunities that come to us, the better life in general that we're going to have. But I do want to say one thing, because it is very, very, very unrealistic for us to think that we can just be in this high vibrational state all the time. And there is a lot of influencers and people out there in the space that try to say like, oh, good vibes only, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, we want to attract good vibes all the live long day, yes, but we're only human. We have no control that, there are days we're going to be sad. There might be things that make us angry. There might be things that make us jealous. And that is okay. It is natural. It is normal. We are literally human. We are here to learn. And emotions are our teachers. Emotions are one of the best teachers there is. So we need to learn to use our emotions as teachers instead of just saying, nope, this bad emotion, nope, because even if you say no, it doesn't matter. You're still having that emotion. You just need to learn to feel it, process it, and let it go. Then you go back up to this high vibrational state. And the better you are at doing that, the faster they flow in and out of your energetic field. And then they don't affect you as much. It's when you are like, nope, and you don't deal with it, then it's staying in your energetic field, and it's actually then weighing you down even more. So because our emotions are energy in motion, which means they should always be in a state of flow, we need to practice like feeling and releasing them so that they can be in a state of flow and they don't become stuck and stagnant and hold us down. If you often feel like you're drowning, it's because you're holding on to emotions. Emotions are meant to teach us things, and I'll just give you one example. If you want to learn more about this, I do teach about this in my program. But I'll just use jealousy, for example, because this is probably my favorite example. Jealousy is actually trying to teach us that whatever you are jealous of, it is just your soul, body, whatever, trying to get your attention, that is something that you desire. And that is totally okay. But sometimes, or at least it's kind of pretty normal, that we see this and we're jealous and it instantly becomes jealousy is not a great emotion, but you can use it in a positive way. So when you see something and you're jealous, say somebody got a new car and it's your dream car, and instead of saying some asshole comment or being snarky or just in your head being like, oh, of course she gets that, that's not helping anybody. You have to use that as a sign to be like, oh, I'm jealous because I want that car. But you can use the fact that somebody else, especially if it's somebody that but anybody else, as proof that it's possible for you too. Because there's not one single thing in the world that's only for one person. If you want a white Range Rover, get yourself a damn white Range Rover. You can manifest that. You can absolutely make that happen for yourself. No matter what your circumstances right now, there's always a way to change and grow and become whoever it is that you want to become and have whatever it is that you want to have. So use that emotion of jealousy to steer you to like, oh, I desire a white Range Rover. That's why I'm feeling jealous. I'm going to try to manifest that. I'm going to work really hard towards this goal because I know it's something that I desire. So all emotions do this in their own way. And as you can use them as really helpful teachers so that when you feel that, like, what is that emotion feeling? It's jealousy. Why am I jealous? Because I want that. And then you say, oh, your ego might instantly be like, you're never going to get that, girlfriend. But that's when you say, no, if I tell myself I can't get it, I'm right, I can't get it. But I believe in myself, and I know that if I follow my dreams and do what I'm passionate about, that the universe is going to support me, and then I will have my white Range Rover. And that is beautiful. Now, when it comes to energy, I want to talk about feeling energy, because I know we can feel energy all around us all the time. We all experience the same feelings and emotions, and that's why we can relate to and empathize with one another, because we've been through all the same but different scenarios in our lives. And we can, as an empath, I feel people's emotions all the time without even having been in that situation or feeling that emotion myself. Sometimes I end up carrying their emotions around with me. But this is just proof of that, how much energy exists all around us and how important it is. So if you think about a time that you maybe walked into a heated conversation and you could literally cut the tension in the room with a knife, that is a type of energy. If you think about maybe watching a sad movie and how it made you cry, that is energy. If you think about how much joy and love you feel when you see a loved one, maybe especially if you haven't seen them for a long time, that is energy. If you think about getting goosebumps when you hear something that's like woo woo, or if you hear somebody that's like super good at singing or something, or watching somebody really good at dancing and you get goosebumps, like tinglies down your spine, that is energy. We can feel and be connected to energy around us all the time. And it's just picking up on these little feelings that helps us become more aware of the energy that's around us. And when we become aware of the energy that's around us, we gain more power, because we can decide, ooh, I like that energy, I'm gonna let it into my energetic field, or no thank you, this isn't for me, and you can put up protection around your energetic field, saying nope. One other thing that has really helped me to see and understand different energies is music. I am a dancer and also a DJ, so my life revolves a lot around music, and DJing especially has really, really, really helped me see this, because like I'm in control of the vibe. I'm setting the vibe for the room, for the party. So you can be playing an upbeat song that everybody likes to dance to, like Fireball by Pitbull. Everybody loves that song. Okay, so that song's playing. If something happened and they were like, what if sometimes people come up and try to touch your equipment and the music stops, instantly kills the vibe, and everyone looks at you like, what the heck just happened? Or if you think about maybe going from an upbeat song to like a slow song, it's like just kills the vibe. And when you DJ, there's like actually a chart, and every song has a different key, and you can use the keys to like travel around this circle, and it like moves the energy around. So like the keys they're also colored, so the colors help me, whereas like the pinks and oranges are more like sexy vibes to me, whereas like the blues and purples are more sadder vibes to me. Not always, but for the most part, I kind of get that from the chart. And if you mix songs that are like in the same key or just like one key away, it fits in the same vibe. But if you mix from one key to a different key, it totally changes the vibe, and you can feel the difference because the energy is not the same. It's in a different vibration. And so music and DJing has really, really, really helped me see that even more be true for my life and all the energy around me. So you can play this game with yourself of like even just like putting your phone on shuffle, because if you make a playlist of the same vibe, then it's all the same vibe. But if you have all your music in your whole library and then you shuffle it, like your vibe's gonna change a lot. And because music has a big effect on our vibe, you also you play sad music when you're sad. Or sometimes you play happy music when you're sad because you're trying to not be sad anymore. Maybe you need to play an upbeat song to, shake yourself out of it. Or you need to sing a sad song and cry along with it if that's how you need to process that emotion. Either way is fine. Either way is great. Music is such a wonderful tool for that and helping us with our emotions. So yeah, take advantage of that because music is such a gift from God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it. It is such a gift, and I appreciate it so much because I love to dance. Dancing really helps me when I need to process emotions because I process them through my movements, but I would not be able to do that without music. I mean, I probably could, but it would not be nearly as fun and it would not be as easy to do because you match the vibe, emotion, expression of the song. It's hard to just do that on its own. It's not as beautiful and divine as it is when you put that together. So, one more thing about energy that is super, 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 super important is letting go. It is very important that we learn to let go because holding on to anything is holding on to that energy in your energetic field. And for the most part, things that we're holding on to are not good. We are holding on to anger or sadness or grief or any of the above. But the longer we hold on to that, the lower it drags us down. And we're trying to raise the vibration of the whole entire planet. And the only way we can do that is by each of us working on raising our own personal vibration. Because as you raise your vibration, the vibration of the planet raises a little bit. So every single person that can learn to let go and become in this high vibrational state, the better the world is around us because it affects the entire vibration of the entire planet. And that's what is going to be happening as a collective over the next 10 probably years. Well, actually, maybe even less than that because I believe that COVID was the start of this. 2020 was the start of this next phase of life that we are going to be living and experiencing. So, in the next 6-ish years, it is all about us healing ourselves and dealing with our traumas and letting go of all this hurt and pain and anger and sadness and things that we're holding on to because it's dragging us down. And you know what? It sucks. It sucks that we've got hurt. It sucks that people have done terrible things to each other literally since the beginning of time, and we are still dealing with it because even if it hasn't happened directly to you, it gets passed down through generational trauma because it comes through in patterns that were taught to us by our mothers or grandmothers, great grandmothers. However far back, trauma can go back generations upon generations upon generations, and we're still dealing with that because it actually comes through our DNA. So this is why it's really important for us to heal and let go because we are in charge of ourselves, but we're also in charge of our future children and the future generations. The more healing we do for ourselves right now, the less trauma and shit our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren have to deal with. And I think we're to a point in society where enough of us are waking up to this information and we know deep down that it's true and we're starting to do the work, and already I can feel a difference in the world, in the energy, and it's only continuing to get better and better and better. So this is why letting go is really important, and also protecting our energy. Our energy is very sacred, it's very important, and we need to make it a priority in our life to take care of that. Because it's not just about us, it's actually about everyone, but it is also about us, and it is okay to want to put yourself first and to want to protect your energy and to do that for yourself and the people around you as well, especially if you share your life with somebody, with a partner, or you still live at home, you have kids, whatever it is, your energy affects everybody around you and it affects yourself the most. So we have to take control of this. And one of the best things you can do is grounding your energy, because when we ground our energy, like especially for myself, because my energy is very much in my mind. I am very much air. I am very stimulated in the brain, and sometimes I can get overwhelmed because I overthink and I have a lot of ideas, and it can be a lot. So I have to ground myself, because when I ground myself, it's just like and I can just like, oh, okay, no, it doesn't matter right now. I'm here on this earth. I am sitting in the state of meditation. I am enjoying myself. I am feeling into my body. I am one with my breath. And then in that very moment, nothing matters. These thoughts aren't bothering me. These thoughts aren't taking over my life. I can just exist, and that's like the most peaceful state to be in. So when it comes to grounding your energy, physically putting your bare feet on the earth is one of the best and strongest ways you can ground your energy, because the earth gives off a vibration that neutralizes our energy. So all these things in our energetic field can just be neutralized, and the earth will absorb those energies for us. But shoes are mostly made of rubber, and rubber is an insulator, and it stops us from getting that vibration. So you actually have to put your bare feet on the ground. Grass works the best, but any kind of sand, grass, mud, dirt, whatever, ocean even, your feet are still in the sand when you're in the ocean. Just being that connection with nature. Hugging a tree does the same thing. You will honestly feel that your energy change when you have that connection with nature, because it's neutralizing it. But I live in a place that's cold for a lot of the year, and I would feel myself getting into this winter depression every single year because I couldn't do that for myself. Like the physically touching the earth, like when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, it's not really the same thing, and I don't want frostbite. So in that case, you can do a meditation where you just visualize roots growing from the base of your spine or your feet if you're standing, and visualize these roots. And then once you watch the roots grow into the ground, then you can send your energy down those roots, and the earth will absorb the energies that way as well. I like that method. I still use that a lot, but it is not my favorite is to put my actual feet on the ground. I love feeling grass in between my toes. Also, to protect your energy, you can protect it. Intention is a very, very, very powerful thing. When we set an intention to protect our energy, it protects our energy. You can double that with visualization. So you can visualize. I use white light. My aura is white and a little bit yellow, but mostly white. So whenever somebody tells me to visualize a light, it automatically in my mind's eye shows up as white. But you can use whatever color comes up for you, because every color has its own energy, and whatever color comes to mind for you is your color that you need for that time. So you can just imagine a light, whatever color that comes for you, and imagine it wrapping all the way around your body, starting from your toes and wrapping all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, up to your head. And then just feel that like protection. And so this is really good to do before you go into public places, especially if you're somebody who is super sensitive to other people's energies around you. It just kind of helps it protects your energetic field, so you're not getting all these other energies into your field. And then also at the end of the day, or after interactions with people, after going to the grocery store, whatever it is, it's important to cut your cords, because every interaction that we have with somebody leaves an energetic cord between you and them. If you practice cutting these cords, this you can do in your eyes. You can imagine cutting these cords with scissors. You can use your fingers like scissors to cut the cords. You can clap and cut the cords. Just setting the intention of cutting the cords does a lot. But when we cut these cords, we let go of that interaction, and it lets go of that energy from our energetic field, and it's very clearing and freeing, and it feels very good. And if you're in like, this happens sometimes. Life gets busy. Sometimes we aren't doing all the things we know we need to do. And you might be starting to feel heavy and weighed down and tied down and like you can't move. Cut your cords. This happened to me once. And I had not been cutting my cords for a long time. And I actually went to a Reiki session, and the girl was like, when is the last time you cut your cords? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. And she's like, girl, you are tangled. You are tied up. And so between the two of us, we cut my cords, and I literally felt like I was floating. It was such a difference in energy, and I was like, holy shit, okay. I needed that to happen because I had to feel that difference for myself to be like, okay, if I feel even a little bit below how I usually feel energetically, I'm like, cut my cords. And so you'll notice right away, I've been coaching one of my good friends, Tori, and that was one of the first things I taught her in coaching. And she was like, holy smokes, like, she felt such a difference. And then she would call me and tell me like, oh my God, I did this, and then I cut my cords and I felt better. And I was like, yes, get it, girl, because it actually is super, super powerful. So yeah, this has kind of been my rant on energy. I have genuinely really believed and been passionate about this for a long time, and now I see more and more and more and more people talking about it, and it makes me really excited. If you have any questions about energy, you want to know, feel free to reach out. I love when you guys reach out to me. It makes me so happy to be able to help people. So my Instagram is soulful.self.development. You can reach out to me there, and I will get back to you with my answers. And yes, if you want to just send me a message and say hi, that is really cool too. If you have any ideas maybe for what you would like for me to talk about on the podcast, feel free to shoot me some ideas too. Yeah, I hope that you liked this about energy, and I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today and making Soulful Self-Development possible. I am grateful for each and every one of you. If you enjoyed the show today, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Stay tuned for new episodes coming out every Wednesday. You can connect with me on social media at soulful.self.development. I would absolutely love to hear from you. You guys make my heart so full. See you next time.